This video will demonstrate how to set up and edit workflows in the Approval tab of your solicitation. For instructions on how to create the groups that you will assign to approval workflows, please visit the GMO website Resources for State Agencies page to review the user guide and video on creating and editing groups. When creating your subrecipient grant program, the Approval tab is the last tab of the solicitation. Approval workflows must be set up before you can publish the solicitation, but can always be edited at a later date. We will go over how to edit approval workflows later in this video. There are 7 approval workflows that need to be created for the different functions of subrecipient program management, from the award recommendation phase to the closeout of subrecipient programs. For each approval workflow, either a standard approval or a sequential approval can be set up. Standard approvals require an approval by an assigned individual or the member of a standard approval group. If using a group, any one member can approve. Sequential approvals are those that require each approval group member to approve in a specific order, one after another. The first approval workflow to create is for recommendation approval. This approval workflow is triggered when an award recommendation has been created. This approval workflow occurs before the subrecipient is notified of their award offer. To create the workflow, click on the yellow edit pencil. Choosing the standard approval type allows you to select a single individual that will approve the task, or a standard group where a single member of the group will approve the task. Choosing a sequential approval type will prompt you to select a sequential user group to approve the task. Once you have your approver selected, click Save. Once the award recommendation is approved, using whichever approval workflow chosen by your agency, the award package is sent to the subrecipient for them to review, request changes, and accept or decline their award. The same process just demonstrated for assigning an approver or approver group should be done for the remaining 6 tasks. Final award approval workflow is triggered when an award has been accepted by an applicant. This is the final approval before the award is considered awarded. Once the final award approval is approved, using whichever workflow chosen by your agency, the applicant officially becomes a subrecipient. Subrecipients can request funds for reimbursement, submit activity reports, manage their project team, submit amendments, and more. The amendment approval workflow is triggered when a subrecipient requests a grant amendment that does not involve a change to their budget. Amendment requests could include project period extension, project name changes, goals, target units change, and more. The amendment approval with finance workflow is triggered when a subrecipient requests a grant amendment with a finance change. Finance changes include moving money between budget categories and increasing or decreasing their award amount. Once the amendment approval with finance is approved, using whichever workflow chosen by your agency, the changes will appear in the subrecipient's budget. The financial report approval workflow is triggered when a financial report has been submitted by a subrecipient. Subrecipients will use financial report tasks to submit payment requests to the state agency. Once a payment request or financial report is approved in eCivis, using whichever workflow set up by your agency, it will be sent to RIFANS and enter your existing RIFANS approval workflow before funds are sent to the subrecipient. Activity report approval workflow is triggered when an activity report has been submitted by a subrecipient. Activity reports contain sections for your subrecipients to provide a narrative, file uploads, and report against their goals. Closeout approval workflow is triggered when the closeout process is triggered by a subrecipient. The closeout task will be the subrecipient's final financial report submitted before their award is closed and archived. In addition to setting up your agency approval workflow for these tasks, the financial report, activity report, and closeout tasks allow you to input additional data such as instructions, acknowledgement statements, and assign reporting cadences. When assigning the approval workflow for financial reports and activity reports, you are given the option to include instructions. This is optional, and the instructions entered here will appear at the top of the report template for the subrecipient to review before completing and submitting their report. Another feature for financial reports and activity reports is defining a frequency for the task. This is optional and allows you to define a reporting cadence for your subrecipients of this grant program. Based on your frequency selection, intervals and due dates can be entered. Entering this information here will assign this reporting frequency to all subrecipients you award after filling out these fields. If needed, reporting frequencies can also be edited per subrecipient when creating their award recommendation. The last feature is the display of acknowledgement statements for financial reports and closeout tasks. Clicking Yes for Display Acknowledgement Statement allows you to enter in a statement. This statement will display to your subrecipients when financial reports or closeout tasks are submitted. This will require the subrecipient to acknowledge the statement by clicking a checkbox before submitting their report to you. For language that can be copy and pasted into this section, please visit the GMO website Resources for State Agencies page and use the document labeled How to Add Subrecipient Certification Language. Once approval workflows have been assigned to all 7 tasks, you can save the page and the tab will receive a green check mark. All 7 approval workflows must be set up to get the green check mark and before you can publish the solicitation. If during the life cycle of the grant program, you need to edit or change an approval workflow, you can always access this tab by navigating to the Edit Solicitation and locating the approval workflow you need to change by clicking the yellow edit pencil. Once any changes have been made, click Save to save your edits.